chapter 1. I'm going to read just a little bit. Now a new king arose over Egypt who didn't know Joseph. And he said to his people, behold, the people of the sons of Israel are more and more mightier than we. They're stronger than we are, guys. These Israeli people, they're stronger than us Egyptians. So let's deal wisely with them. And because if we don't, they'll multiply. In the event of war, they would join themselves with those who hate us, and they'd fight against us. Basically, he was saying, we're Egyptians, guys. Those Israeli people, they're pretty strong. I think they're pretty tough. And I think we better deal with them, because if they multiply too much, when the bad guys come against us, they'll join with them. They'll help the enemy kick our butts. I think we should do something to keep these guys from growing. Okay? So then, this Pharaoh, this king of Egypt, he spoke to all the Israeli midwives. And he said, when you're helping all your Hebrew women give birth, if it's a baby boy, put him to death. If it's a little girl, let it live. But the midwives wouldn't do this. They respected God. They would not do as the king of Egypt commanded, and they let all babies live, even the boys. So then the king of Egypt, Pharaoh, he called for the midwives and said, why are you doing this? And it's kind of funny. They said, well, because the Hebrew women aren't like you little weak Egyptian women. No, they have birth before we can even get there. So listen. Then Pharaoh commanded all the people, not just the Hebrew midwives. He commanded everybody. Every son who's born, if I might paraphrase, feed it to the crocodiles. Throw it in the Nile River. Every baby boy from day one, throw it in the river. I would call that baby murder. Hang on to that. Matthew chapter 2. Jesus is born. Herod, who's basically, remember at first, the first guy that was into baby murder was an Egyptian over the Jewish people. Now Herod is one of them. He's not Egyptian, he is an Israeli person. Israelite. He's one of them. We have an enemy. The enemy in this one was expecting a deliverer of Israel, and he was against that. The same enemy now, he's expecting there to be the Messiah. He basically does the same thing. Said, when Herod, for lack of a better term, the king of Israel at that time, he saw that he'd been tricked by these magi. He became very angry. He sent and slew all the male children in Bethlehem and all its surrounding areas, from 2 years old to day one. Kill them all. Baby murder. Okay. We have one more. Pharaoh and Herod. Exodus, Matthew, 1973. Come out. Roe v. Wade and go be who was first? Bolton. Roe versus Wade and Doe versus Bolton. This This happened thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. A couple thousand years before Jesus. This happened 2,000 years ago. This happened not that long ago. Pretty much in your, I think pretty much everybody in here. It's part of your generation. It's all baby murder. And there's a reason why. I'll just tell you, let me just read you real quick a little bit about it. These were two cases. Roe versus Wade was in Texas, and Doe versus Bolton was in Georgia. And they were both court cases to see if they could get some abortion legalized. And together these two cases, it's getting louder, together these two cases struck down all state laws restricting abortion in the United States, period. And they replaced them with a national policy which effectively legalized abortion for any reason through all 9 months of pregnancy. They basically got a national policy for more baby murder. Why? Revelation chapter 12. I'll show you real quick. Why did Pharaoh kill all those babies? Because he didn't want Israel to have a deliverer. Why did Herod kill all those babies? Because he didn't want to take a chance of there being a Messiah, a king. Why have we in the United States been doing this legally since 1973? And oh, how many? Excuse me. Since 1973 till this year, 59 million plus, all of them performed in California, plus all of them performed in New York, because those two states are not obligated to keep records and release them. All the other states keep records of abortions and have to release them. California and New York don't. Big towns in California and New York. Since 1973, 59 million babies in just the United States, plus California, plus New York, equals a lot. Why? Here's why. For this reason, heavens, and you who dwell in it, got some news for you. I'm in Revelation 12:12. Woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has come down to you, having a great wrath. He's very angry, knowing that his time is short.
All right.
This is his last-ditch effort. Why? Jesus said, look, I'm going back up into heaven now. I'm giving you guys my name, my power, and authority. Now you guys go into the whole world and preach the gospel and do all these things. Because time is short.
Amen.
I can't tell you when I'll be back because I don't even know. Only Daddy's the only one that knows. But I will be back. And when I get to heaven, I'm going to kick Satan's butt and throw him out. He won't be back up there. He'll be limited to earth now. And he's going to be very, very angry. Because he also knows, he doesn't know when, but he also knows game's over. And he's really ticked off. Time is short. So he's trying different things.